guest is a filmmaker who shot a documentary about legendary violinist Billy Bang. And here to tell us more is Oscar Sanders. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Bob.
Now,
be here.
who is Billy Bang?
Well, Billy Bang was a Bronx musician. Basically grew up in, was born in Mobile, Alabama. Came to New York. Went to some private schools with Arlo Guthrie. Went to the Vietnam War, was affected by that, and became a violin player, which was very difficult. African-American man, in the late 50s, 60s, when people, it's not a very masculine instrument. So, he developed it.
War.
Yes, but, he went to Queens College, he studied law, but, he wasn't into that. And he wanted to find something. He didn't want to hurt people anymore. He's very political about the war.
You said he was affected by the war. How so?
Well, being very young, he was out there. What he used to do is they used to clear a lot of the areas before the
Agent Orange.
And also like before the attacks for the I guess the guys that were coming in to fight. They would clean that stuff up, and he's seen a lot of carnage.
Ooh.
And as a result of that, when he got home, he didn't want to hurt anyone else. So he figured that music was the best way for him to...
Let me take it out on his violin.
There you go.
Strings all over the place, busting up.
Yeah. And so what happened was, for a self-taught musician, he created a style which was very percussive and, oh man, I mean, kind of before Jimi Hendrix. I mean, if you hear some of the stuff that he did, it's very interesting and very powerful musician, but very soulful. And
how do you describe that style?
I would say that style is very expressionistic, because people don't give Billy Bang a lot of credit for being such a prolific composer. So the songs that he did, a lot of times would open him up to how he would approach how he played. So he was very percussive. And he liked a lot of arpeggios, and he was very melodic at the same time. And he didn't like things to be, so regimented. He liked a lot of spontaneous. So after the band would lock in that style, he would want them to open up, and that led to some explosive music.
You hear that? It's part of the show. Open. He opened up. So a lot of, what do you call it?
His
violin
style.
What?
Well, it's
improv.
Yeah. Well, he was more of a progressive musician. He didn't play in the traditional style. He was, a free jazz, and his last two albums explored his Vietnam experience, Aftermath, and I forgot the name of the other one. But what happened was, he used to babysit me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then after that, I became a musician, and then wound up playing with him. He was very good friends with my brother.
So you learned all this about him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I lived with him.
Yeah.
I mean, we lived around each other, and then suddenly we got together because they did a film about him that he wasn't really too enthusiastic about.
So what made you want to get involved in doing a documentary on him?
We talked about it, actually, and he said he was tired of being portrayed in a way that he didn't really have a lot of control over.
Yeah.
So then we got together. He trusted me because I did some films and I had
gotten some awards. Laid down exactly the way it took place, the way it was.
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
The only thing about it was, before I could finish the film, sadly he died of lung cancer. Yeah. So I finished the film, and now, after Lincoln Center opening last October, now it's really gaining speed, and it's just out in Wales, where we got best feature documentary.
So he wasn't able to see all the work that you guys putting this together. Yeah. What can people learn? What can people expect in watching this documentary?
Well, you can actually find out that there is an unwritten communication between musicians that is not conveyed most of the time to the audience. But it's just like I say, if you've seen Kobe Bryant doing work, or or anybody that even Peyton Manning doing audibles. There's a conversation, there's a thing that goes on, just like you guys in production. There's a conversation. And what you do is you actually find out. It's a very educational tool because it allows you to understand what goes on between musicians so that they don't get in the way of each other.
And this is while they're playing. There's a big audience out there. There's a call and response. amongst the people who are playing, and also a call and response amongst the people who are playing in the audience.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And especially as you start to get into the song and you get past the melody part, now you're riding on the improv. You have to learn how to listen, you know, and because people hear, but sometimes people don't listen.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to work with one another to drive, you know, the person. And see, he was the type of musician that he would drive you as a violinist. Yeah. Not so much from the percussion standpoint. You know, he's very percussive.
Usually it's the drummer and the bass player.
Right.
Driving the whole thing.
Yeah.
The foundation of the music.
Yeah, he was a very prolific musician. There were very few people that could say he sounded like somebody else.
Yeah.
You know. So it's an educational tool, you know.
Where can we see this documentary?
Well, on June 2nd, it'll have a Harlem screening at Maisels as part of the People's Film Festival.
Yeah.
And that's on June 2nd at 1:30.
Wow. June 2nd at 1:30.
That's a Sunday.
What address is that over there?
Oh, that's, I think, it's either 127th or it's either 128th and Lenox Avenue.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. What's the name of the place again?
Maisels.
Maisels.
M-A-Y-S-L-E-S, Cinema.
Now, you said you play also?
Yes. Well, I'm on sabbatical, actually. I've played in some years. It's been many years, but I played for 17 years. Matter of fact, I left school during, it was around the time when the Reagan administration. It was a very interesting time to be in Europe. And a lot of African Americans weren't in Europe at that time unless they were in the military. You know, so yeah, it was a great time to open up and we see the world, and you know, played for the mayor of Bavaria in Germany, and recorded in Milano, Italy through Polygram. You know,
Polygram Records.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Now, do people in different parts of the world take you in differently or see you differently than the people here in the States? Yeah.
It seems like when you get to Europe, you see, they spend a part of their budget cultivating music, whereas in the States it seems like we like people that are already created, you know, and we buy into what, you know, other countries have. We don't really cultivate or support our music the way Europeans do, and they know a lot more about our music than we do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Japan, all those places.
Oh yeah, and especially jazz. You know, especially jazz.
They love it. So what's next for you?
Right now I'm in production on Michael Carvin, which was a drummer that played with Barbara McNair, Marvin Gaye's on the Trouble Man soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he also played with Freddie Hubbard and Bobby Hutcherson. Matter of fact, right now, after I leave here, I'm going to shoot him. He's recording his band Michael Carvin Experience. So that will be released in 2014.
And when are you getting back into playing?
That's a good question. Yeah, I still have my stuff. I still have my, I never got rid of those instruments. Guitar.
Guitar.
Yeah, so I have 4 guitars. And
you pick it up every now and then, though.
I could, but I haven't. You know, the filmmaking and doing music videos and documentaries, and short films. You know, so I'm also working on something based on a horror twist to the Newtown Massacre. Yeah. So some interesting things, you know, coming up.
Where can people get more information on what you're doing?
At my website, which is www.malcolmentertainment.com. They can buy merchandise, and they can buy the movie, you know, and T-shirts and all kind of other stuff.
All right, tell everybody to go watch your documentary.
Watch this documentary, Sunday, June 2nd, People's Film Festival, Maisels Cinema, on at 1:30 in the afternoon. And anything that you want to buy, merchandise, movies, www.malcolmentertainment.com.
Billy Bang, long overdue. Oscar Sanders, we applaud you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty. All right, thanks for coming down. Share some more with us later on.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
All right.